a few years ago, you would have spent a lot of time and maybe money to purchase a scene like this. It's a village with a couple of people in there, and it has no real speciality apart from that. It has only two lights, a sky dome light, Arnold of course, and a spotlight. And let me see where the spotlight is. The scene is so heavy. So here's the spotlight. It covers the whole scene, and of course the sky dome light wraps around the whole scene. So when we render this thing, we will get quite an interesting result. And I render the perspective window now. Watch out what's happening. It does this rendering. So what does this remind you of? It maybe reminds you of a 360-degree surround rendering, which is true. So what is the difference between this rendering of the perspective shape and the perspective window we have here? It's basically the whole village, but rendered not with the camera lens or camera angle which we see in the modeling view. Well, the reason is that that perspective camera which we find here in the outliner has a setting which we find maybe further down under Arnold. The camera type is set to spherical, so it's a 360-degree camera, whereas we want to have it perspective. That's the view we want to render really. So let's render it again now. It's a heavy scene, as I said before, so it takes some time to render. And this is what we actually wanted to have. We have two lights in the scene, and currently we see only one light, which is the spotlight. And I don't know where the sky dome light actually is, but well, we don't care about this because we just want to analyze the scene a little bit. And basically I want to tell you that you have lots of things you can use for your non-commercial videos, like just this guy here. With an interesting shader here. They have no skeletons built in, so he's just sort of standing here, or sort of this walking pose. If you press the upper key, like the what is it called, the cursor up, you select the whole group, which is in the outliner called the man carrying sack. And the man carrying sack can be isolated. You just select all of the things here except for the man carrying the sack, and then you press Ctrl H, and here he is on his own. And if you render him, that's what he looks like. I wanted to show you here how to use a prefab scene in order to develop your own things from it. Like we could make him glow, make a mesh light out of him, or just out of his vest, his shirt, as I showed you in tutorials before. Where you get this thing from? Well, here under Solid Angle, who's the developing company of Arnold, you find lots of learning scenes, and you can download this interior room, for example, or this model village, as I just did, or the Space Pirate, and many others. and study the lighting. Here we have a sky dome light, and a physical sky shader involved, and the whole file is 100 megabyte large. You have to unzip it and just load it into Maya, and then see what's coming out of it. Actually, I did a rendering with the two persons here, a mother and a child, in the same scene, and I posted it on Facebook with a 360 degree sort of VR surround view. It looks odd because I did not do a color matching at the both borders, right and left, but it basically is working. So that's the stitching part here, and well, you can go up and down. So this is a scene directly from Maya with the sky dome in the back.